Views of this podcast and the sole views of the curators of this podcast is not the views of United States Postal Service.
How does he do it?
And we are back. Yes, on the Route Podcast, episode 22. 22. You know what I mean? We right back at it, man. This one is about postal drama. Yeah, there's a lot going on out there that's been happening with the post office in America, I might add.
This is true.
And before we even get started, as always, let my brothers introduce themselves. To my right.
B Morton, all I gotta say is say that postal drama for your mama.
Oh boy. They've been doing this shit all day. This is Black. We're gonna give you some postal drama. You know what it is, man. It's always true.
Yeah, for some reason, y'all can't stay out the news. But you know what it is, it's Aaron. So let's get started.
And then, of course, your engineer. I ain't staying low-key no more. I done went all over the place. Rick Sean, you know what it is. Shout out to y'all checking out that over the weekend, too, by the way. I peeped y'all looking. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? But we're going to get right into it, man. Let the brothers kick it off about this postal drama. What is going on, fellas?
So we start off with the gentleman that stabbed his supervisor in San Diego. Left a cut mark on top of his head, a deep cut wound, as they say. Said there was confrontation.
Hold on, wait. Is it a stab or a cut? Did you slash him or stab him? Because there's a difference.
I guess they said it was a cut wound, a deep cut wound to the top of the head. That's what they said.
But forgive me, I don't know exactly what happened, but they said he was cut and left the hospital the same day.
Yeah, so it might have been like a kitty cat scratch with it.
It's possible.
Yeah, see, I saw a little bit of this on the news. I just want to say, excuse my French, like some of you news sites and stations ain't shit. Cause
Yo,
like don't
wait. Before you do that, just before you go there, because that's hilarious. But you gotta tell what happened. To set it up, you gotta tell what happened.
So apparently, from what Brandon was just saying, there was a gentleman who was a truck driver, like an 18-wheeler driver,
Yes, sir.
worked in the San Diego post office area. He got confronted by a supervisor. Apparently, they had some words.
Two supervisors.
It was two supervisors. Apparently, he had some words with them, threw some drinks at their cars, cussed them out, shoving went on. And then I guess they approached him at another area, and he pulled out a blade, started swinging, and he ended up cutting somebody across the head or something of that nature.
Yeah, I believe his name was Baby Joker. Is Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, they have not released the person's names, but we don't say names anyway. But they did give his description. He said he was a mixed Hispanic black male who was about 5'9", 230 pounds.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: did he pull a blade out from Street Trade? The whole blade.
I guess. My initial problem is not even with the altercation and how it went down. My problem is that, you know how the news is. They always want to get some type of inside information. So they went to talk to another co-worker of the gentleman and the supervisor. And of course, I guess the gentleman did not want to be on camera because he was probably fearing for his life. And they were pointing the camera at his feet. Some ugly ass shoes, by the way.
Yeah,
and he was
tell us.
Look, he was postal official.
No.
Yeah, they were postal official.
No, he had the old school classic soft toe S-Dots. The soft toe, not the hard toe. The soft
Yeah, the Sean Carter's, the all black ones.
The one that came out in the early 2000s.
I didn't even know we could wear those in the post office, but all right.
That big boat shoe.
But my man
has a green tag.
They had him from the shins down, and he was talking, and I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, okay, y'all supposed to be protecting this gentleman from the person that's still at large because they haven't caught him yet. He's still at large. You think he don't know this person's voice? Y'all didn't even augment his voice.
Nope.
You hear his whole voice. So I'm pretty sure he's had a conversation with this worker because the guy was saying like, man, he's always doing stuff like this. He's always been an issue. I knew something was going to happen eventually, but y'all didn't augment his voice at all. So he probably saw this interview and said, oh, I know who that is. That's Stanley.
No, but tell him how they got tell him the camera angle they got him walking away.
Yeah, and then this is how horrible the news is, because in the midst of the guy talking to the reporters and they showing his feet, they cut away to, I guess that was him walking away from after the interview was over, because you see the back of him. Not blurred out. Yeah, not blurred out. You see his whole back of his head. He had the strap back hat on. He wears like the little neon vest over top of the Postal stuff. He has a book bag.
Yeah, it said San Diego Logistics.
Yeah, he has a book bag, which I'm pretty sure is his custom book bag that he always has. And then they cut right back to him still talking, showing his feet. Like we just didn't see his whole silhouette. I'm like, so if he gets stabbed up next, because the man is still at large, I think he should sue the news for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like, that was a horrible job by the news. Y'all know what y'all did.
I was asking him, what really makes you go to the brink of stabbing or cutting this
now, go ahead. Go finish. I'm waiting till you done.
Like, I get it what it is, but I'm like, you really had a blade in somebody. Yeah, I'm going to handle the situation one way or another. Get my blade in my pocket. And keep trying to test my dog and say, supervisor, I got this blade for you.
Well, for one, being in the Postal Service, we all know we're not allowed to carry weapons, whether it be a firearm or a knife. We're only armed with a scanner and a pen. So,
And pepper spray.
and pepper spray. Yeah, I'm saying that works on humans too. But
Two-legged dogs.
two-legged.
Two-legged dogs.
But we don't know what brought on this, I guess, confrontation. We don't know what was said to him prior to that, or days before that, or months before that, because as a postal worker, stuff just builds, and supervisors and managers and area managers, district managers, all the way up to the top say whatever the fuck they want to say to you, how they want to say it, and you can't say shit back. So, and they always want to, put more work on you than you possibly can actually do and give you an unrealistic time to return. So, naturally, this could have been building over time. Not saying he's right, for cutting people up, but we don't know. We got to look at both sides of it. That's just how I do it. And he could have did this because they might have said something wild to him. You know what I'm saying? He might have been off the next day and they probably said, "No, you got to work." Like, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, because my main question is, right, I'm guessing maybe this was the end of the day for him.
Yeah, it looked like the end of the day.
I mean, just judging by the video footage, they showed that his truck was like, it wasn't parked where it's supposed to be parked at, though.
I think they said it was like took place at like 6 p.m. So
Yeah.
it's probably the end of the day.
He probably
Yeah.
last round, probably last
No.
round.
But I'm like, he probably was still on a clock, which is a problem.
Yeah, he was on
You know what I mean?
he
And,
was on
which
the
means he still was on the premises,
Yep.
which is why not only is he getting arrested, he's probably losing his job too.
Yeah, because he had a knife on him.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Man, he ran for the border, yo.
Head to the ball.
He talking about
Yeah,
he
because from what they said, he's still at large, and I'm thinking because I was just in San Diego last year, and I'm like, Mexico is literally like a mile away. Like Tijuana is like the next big city after Imperial Beach. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and if he's half Hispanic, I'm pretty sure he probably speaks the language. So I'm like, he probably dipped. Good luck finding him.
Coming home, Mom.
You know what I mean? Like, but eventually he got to return and get his stuff. I think. You know what I mean? Like,
That stuff ain't important.
No, he gonna come back for the boy on the news.
yeah. I don't know what your name is. I'll just say Stanley, just for just for comedy. But yo, get low, dog. Because the news did not do you no justice. They put you right out there,
I
bro.
heard your voice, man. I heard you talking about it, man.
They could at least augmented your voice. You know what I mean? Like,
Snitching, Stanley?
Stitches. More.
then he had another show like 3 or 4 other employees walking out of work. I'm like, so he already know, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, the man is still at large. He's not apprehended yet.
The one employee was pointing, the one husky Latino guy was pointing, like, right there, they see it, right there. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he looked crazy too. Like all the pointing he was doing. I'm like, come on,
oh
man.
my god, that's when people when people get on front of the camera. Like,
But this stuff has been happening a lot lately. Like in general, just like people in the post office, just like taking it to the next level in terms of aggression. And it's like where's human resources at, and where's that, the help system for people that are dealing with mental health? Because you got to have a mental health issue when you're at work, and it gets to the point where you're shoving somebody, throwing, I guess they said he was throwing drinks at their car. I'm guessing it's water bottles, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then to the extent where the management team wanted to approach you aggressively still, and then you pull out a blade and start taking it to that extent. Because even if you felt like your life was threatened, you can't use a blade because you could have just jumped in your 18-wheeler truck and locked the door.
Yeah, or just kept going. Don't get out your truck. Just keep moving.
Yeah. There's no justification for like slicing somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's on a clock that works where you work at.
Unless, could we just speculate real quick?
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Unless, you're dealing with somebody in the post office, he probably married and stuff. They work at the same place. Then he caught the manager in there with her and doing the thing.
I think a shooting would probably commence from that. I don't think that's worthy of a cut. That's more of a shot.
Well, that's all he had on him at the top.
Well, no, that's
You know
just
what I mean?
I think that's some build up and say, like, look, I'm gonna grab the first thing I got. So I got a blade. It's probably, if no need being, it's probably a box cutter. That's probably why the wounds not that. So
Well, see, now that's something different.
Might
If that's a
Yeah.
box cutter, which is something that we do have on the premises,
Yeah, it's different.
that's different. Or if somehow maybe they're allowed to have that as 18-wheeler drivers. I'm not sure. I know there's a couple of you guys that follow us and comment. You know what I mean? Are you guys allowed to carry box cutters for inside your trucks for whatever purposes to help unload? When you're dropping stuff off. You know what I mean? Let us know in the comments below.
Oh, maybe for the wrap. You know how you wrap
Yeah,
the trays and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta cut it off. Yeah.
Well, you might.
So he might have a way out. I mean, it doesn't help that he's on the run still. You might have to turn yourself in, player.
I got priors.
I was just amazed by the police officer's detailed description of the gentleman. You know what I mean? Like he said, he's mixed raced, Hispanic, black. Well, no, he said black and Hispanic man. You know what I mean? They always say the black part first.
Oh yeah.
No, the lady was like, he's at large, but we seen him around here at the gas station. Several people had said they seen him before it happened. She said, after that, it went to confrontation. After that, it ended over here. I'm like, wow, okay, you're really reporting.
Yeah, she definitely did. She definitely did just point to behind her shoulder. Like, I'm like, okay, that was extensive news reporting.
They said he's like 5'9", 230.
My man was quite husky.
Look, you don't need to be big to swing a blade or a box cutter.
Yeah, that's true. But if management is taller than him, I can see why he might have felt quote unquote threatened.
But see,
intimidated.
that's how you know he can't fight, because you at the station and you pull out a knife or a box cutter and you got an issue with somebody. Why don't you just mix it up with the hands? Like, all right, okay. All right.
I don't know. He probably it's the first time grab for him.
Yeah, I'm a little more old school. I believe what Aaron said.
Well, it depends on how, if they ever had, like I said, prior altercations, and it depends on how they rolled up on them. Just with me, I don't care who you are, you can't just roll up on me all fast and husky like you about to do something. It's not gonna work, and it's two of y'all. It's not gonna work.
It's why he needs to be obtained.
So, and like I said, it depends on what they said, what the history is, because I got bad blood with a lot of supervisors in the post office. We just don't get along. But maybe they just didn't get along.
Yeah, it could be that mostly more than anything.
Supervisors just don't like your face sometimes. It's true. They just don't.
Hey, Aaron, tell about the gentleman in Indiana still.
Oh,
Pocketing change.
Oh, so we had another
this is the craziest thing.
stealing.
It's like somebody.
What's in your wallet, sir?
Yeah,
Wow.
we saw an article back from the 25th of August. It said former Indiana postal manager gets 40 months for stealing hundreds of checks worth at least 1.7 million.
It's a lot of bread.
Yo, at what point does like money laundering get slapped on people? Because this keeps happening a lot, and it's not being charged the right way. I feel.
Because it's grand larceny.
Well, no. When our previous episode, how much did the girl get from Brooklyn when it was still in the clerk that was the window cleaner. How much she get for?
That was like a 6-figure sum, I think it was, if I'm not.
Yeah, it was like $300.
Yeah,
How much time? She got more time than him though. She was
But
a
look,
window cleaner.
Yeah.
He
She was Brooklyn.
he stole 272 checks. You know, sums was from like including from hospitals, like utility companies, car dealerships, and all that, cancer research centers. Yo,
Yo,
this boy.
wait, yo.
He-
See,
he-
hold on, wait. You gotta be a different type of person to see a cancer research check and be like, nah, I'm taking this job.
This dude.
This guy had no name on morals, no values.
59 different businesses.
How much time did he get?
He got 3 years and he had to pay $88,000 restitution.
Only in America, America.
Like at some point, like I said, this stuff has to get charged differently. Like you can't just keep, because this is really ruining the integrity of the post office, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because every time this type of crap happens, they make sure they put the postal thing in front of it, like so they can let people know, oh, this is somebody that worked for the post office. They did this, they did that, and it's like, how you gonna get the people to trust you? Our company is based on trust. It's based on trust. Like, if we stealing checks, like, ain't nobody safe.
Exactly.
Like, come on, bro. Like, if you owned a business, you wouldn't even want to use the post office no more.
I saw said, Rick, who can I run to?
Yeah, like seriously, like something's gotta change at some point. But you know what the problem is with change? It has to start at the top. You know what I'm saying? And when the top ain't right, that's a whole nother problem.
You know, he was a manager. So, I mean,
I'm talking about even further than that.
It was a manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this looks like a job for the union. But apparently, there's issues with the postal union on a national level.
White collar crime.
Apparently, they like to get DUIs.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like when you have a certain position in life, I don't care what it is, what job you do, you still have to conduct yourself in a certain manner, even when you're not working, because you have such a high position.
Well, they said, you know, as a national union president, you know, because the president is held at a higher standard. But you think the people hiring this guy, and they say, quote unquote, you know, you're voted in, which I should have got a vote, but I didn't. But you know, there should be extensive background checks to tell you this person's background, because apparently, prior to him applying for this job or getting quote unquote voted into this job, he had prior DUIs.
Yo.
Yeah. So they didn't know this, so they throw it back on him and say he didn't disclose this before he took the position.
Why should I have to tell you my faults when you can just look them up and it's public information?
Is that part of a formal background check when they do it with anything, like any type of
Well,
position?
one of the things I've come to realize about this country is like we pick and choose who we want to do background checks on formally. We pick and choose how hard we want to dig. It's not equal investigation when it comes to opportunities. You know what I mean? Like we choose to overlook certain things. We choose to pay attention to other things. Like you got two famous people right now and their friends and teams caught up in RICO cases. You know what I mean? One guy can't get bail because he's a flight risk, but he's only probably worth like 8 figures. The other guy's worth 10 figures and he gets a bail.
Slap my wrist.
You know what I mean? Like, and they both charged with the same crime. You know, it's a RICO charge.
Wow.
How is the guy that's worth 8 figures not a flight risk and the guy worth 10 is not a flight risk?
Exactly.
Money talks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
And it goes back to that thing we talk about with integrity. You know what I mean? In the American system, like we don't have that much of it. You just buy your way out of stuff. You know what I mean? But
Well, him as the president, you know, like I said, he didn't disclose his alcoholism, but you know, they tried to throw it back on him, which they should have did their research before they gave him the job. But it also says that he, you know, they suggested for him to have in-house rehabilitation and he supposedly refused.
Huh?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Supposedly refused, and you know, if I'm not mistaken, he had a second DUI, and now officially he's in rehab.
So here's my problem, right? We're still technically out of contract, right? And we've been out of contract since May.
Since May.
Yep. Yeah.
May 2023.
I don't know if I want somebody handling my negotiations that has an issue with being sober.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know, you know, from my dealings with the music business, like, the last thing you want to do is be at a party talking business. Or
Yep.
be somewhere drinking, talking business, because that's what they like to do in that business. And you know what I mean? In the music business, they let it bring you a contract when it's party time. You got a couple drinks on you, so they can get you sign something stupid. You know what I mean? Get you feeling good. You eating some good food. Girls is around, whatever. You know what I mean? And they slide you. Hey, yo, man, we rocking with you, man. You know what I'm saying? You might as well sign tonight. Da-da-da-da. You're not reading the fine print because the lights is low. You in the club or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good situation to be in. So think about from another perspective. You talking about you're in charge of negotiating something for millions of people.
Yep.
And I don't even know if you're in your right state of mind when they bring you the paperwork.
Well, apparently, he only was in one negotiating meeting about our contract. He apparently only came to one. And he hasn't been to any after that, and he was presumed missing because he wasn't there and he didn't leave any clear decisions of
What should happen?
Yeah. The
Damn,
things he
yeah, right.
wanted, or the things he wanted to happen, or any idea.
He didn't he say like an official leave of absence or something like that back in April?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually when you take a leave of absence, I don't think you get paid, right? Like when it's like you don't get your, because it's not like you're hurt from the job or anything like that.
People take a leave of absence for leave of absence for different things. It could,
Yeah.
you know, you could be sick. A family member could be sick, so
Yeah.
you could get probably paid sick leave.
Yeah, he probably uses leave. Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. How does somebody like him get anointed a position of that authority? Like, I don't understand.
Where he knew somebody.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, my thing is, like, now,
Next guy up.
but it's like, now, like you said, the issues we have, well, we know, but I'm not going to speak on that, but the same token, we have issues like that. It's like, well, how do, I think we discussed this, maybe like last week. How do you expect us to follow after these guys, and they're not even a leading example? Like, it's like, you want me to vote for this dude, and he acting like a dang on a poop fight, basically. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's no way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, half the time I don't trust these people anyway. You know what I mean? I don't. Like, so I'm not surprised when I see things like this pop up, and because, like, you know, America has been America for the longest, and it's been the same way in terms of how they, like I said, how they choose to do research, how they choose to look into whoever they want to look into, how they choose to pick who they want to pick. You know what I mean? It's the same old, and it's the same BS. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same, you know, criteria and the same people they keep anointing for these different positions of leadership, which to me is bogus.
Well, everybody has their quote unquote stuff with them, but you're not supposed to let that quote unquote stuff interfere with, you know, your job, your money, your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
And when it starts to do that, that's when it starts to become a big problem. Now, you know, people hire him not doing their, you know, the background check like they're supposed to, that's on them. Now, him getting, like I said, the second DUI in a NALC vehicle after work hours.
Wait, he was in the NALC vehicle?
Yes, NALC
Oh,
vehicle
wow.
after work hours.
Man, wilding for his respect out here. Wilding for his respect.
So, you know, one of the charges I seen was conduct unbecoming of a union president. And
Yeah.
it's a bunch of them on there. You can literally go online and you can, you know, Google it, and you'll see the whole thing is like 18 pages. You know, you can see it.
Like, you got that many mess ups, bro? There's 18 pages, yo.
Yeah. And apparently they didn't know about his alcoholism or him having a previous DUI until June 24th, 2023, when he posted a letter on Facebook. That's when they officially knew. This is just what I read. I haven't actually seen the post, but in a lot of that information, that's what it says.
It's public too.
Yeah, it's all public.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's public knowledge, so obviously they confronted him about the situation. And like you said, anybody say anything about confronting him about that, probably just shove it to the side.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like when you're in charge of contract negotiations and it's for millions of people's livelihood, you better be a sound-minded body when you're doing this. You better be on point. Like Black said, people got their stuff with them, yeah, but when you have a position where so many people are counting on you to do the right thing and to be critically in tune with what's going on and you're not, that's pissing a lot of people off if things get mishandled.
But my thing with him of authority, there are apps that does this stuff where it deletes your social media from certain things and representation. Like, you gotta be smart. If you're up there higher of technique, there are apps that do that stuff. There are apps that literally can reach like, I don't want this to be exposed because of who I am. I can link this in the past from when I was 15 to up to now, basically.
My thing is, if you all right, so cool. You take a leave of absence, like that's great. But like Black said, he didn't leave anybody in charge to handle what was supposed to be going on next forward. You know what I mean? So to me, that's an issue. Like, all right, you have your own personal problems, but the guy behind you, whoever's second in command, let him know, hey, look, I'm giving you power right now to handle the situation. Just keep me in the loop about what's going on. You know what I mean? And make the best decision that you think is the best decision, just so we can keep this thing rolling. Because you shouldn't be working outside of your contract for a long period of time. There shouldn't be that much gray space in between contracts. Because when you start a contract, you know when it ends. So in that last year of the contract, you should already start the preparation for what should be happening for the next contract.
You know we're about to get hit with, we're going to give you guys money from the last contract. We're going to tax that, you know.
Yeah, listen, I'm so tired of hearing about retroactive pay, yo. Like, this is the first job I ever had where I kept getting so much retroactive pay. I'm just like, yo, can y'all just do this stuff in a timely fashion? We just get our regular pay? And they move super slow.
This is why you need younger people up in that position. But
yeah, you do need some younger folk in that position. Like, we are, I don't want to be an ageist, but it's like we got to start looking at, you know, when we start doing these deep dives into people that are applying for these jobs, I want to see at least a 7 for the year that you were born in. You know what I mean? Like, it should say 19-7 something, at least.
Yeah, because you need.
Didn't y'all say that there's a position up now for like social media, like a social media position for the post office paying a certain amount?
It should be, yeah, it should be. And it should be somebody that actually knows how to use it. That's young enough, that grew up with it, that knows how to operate it.
Bro, they're not getting nobody. They don't get somebody of the good old boy club. Oh, come on, I got so-and-so up the ranks. Bring him up, he can take over too.
Yeah, the good old, ain't nothing good about the good old boys.
No. But what Brandon was saying earlier about him supporting the KKK on social media was his 6th charge, actually. It says conduct shameful and unexcusable. It says the president liked on social media a post supporting the KKK. Our membership is diverse and disgusted for our president for him publicly displaying a like in support of a KKK social media site.
Yeah, see, wow. so like, and this is the person you want negotiating contracts for people that are not aligned with that type of thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you need some new representation.
Is this your leader? Is this who you want?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we're not even talking about no local situation. This is like DC, like. Yeah, like, but I love how this is not getting brought up, like, at stations.
Yeah,
like, we're not being, this isn't being talked to. Like, we have all these other stand-up talks about everything else, but something involving like our contract negotiation, the people that's our leaders that's supposed to be protecting us, you know, at the job. Like, we're not getting information about what's going on with them. Yeah, sweep it under the rug. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that crazy as well because I didn't even know anything about this until our shop steward at my station said something about our union president having a DUI, and I thought it was our actual local union president. And he was like, no, it's this guy. and he showed me who it was, and I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "He's the national union president."
Yeah, the big
So,
boss.
yeah, so I Googled it myself. I researched it myself, just like y'all can. Y'all can research it. And a whole slew of stuff came up. And it's crazy. And at the time, I didn't know most of the stuff was tied into our contract negotiations. So a lot of our contract negotiations stalling out specifically because of
This situation. Yeah.
which is
Well,
crazy.
hopefully they rectify it soon. We can get the ball
Hopefully,
rolling again.
like, to be honest, I don't see why you need them to have contract negotiations. Like, contract negotiations could be had by anybody in that office.
Yeah,
Like vice
But-
president.
Yeah, vice
yeah.
president. Exactly.
But I mean, when you, like Black just said, when you have charges that make you pretty much unreliable and untrustworthy, you can be removed from that position, and someone else can be put in place for you.
But don't they gotta vote him out though?
Well, here's the thing: if he was found liking posts dealing with the Ku Klux Klan, I think that's enough grounds to vote him out. What's the wait for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's the wait for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like what other information you need? Because you can't say you accidentally liked it.
Yeah.
And like it's in your algorithm. Why is it in your algorithm? The way the algorithm works is you look at things that are related to other posts. So you looked at something that was related to that, and now that's on your news feed.
Yeah. So, I don't know exactly what they're going to do going forward. If I'm not mistaken, I think he might be removed. Or at the very least, somebody need to be in a position, at least for now, for our contract negotiations. Who knows when that's going to end or when we're actually going to have a contract. So, it's just crazy for that to happen with our union. I understand, like we said before, people got their own stuff with them, but for our union, who we hold at high esteem, for them to be taking this many shots, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. I'm all for people trying to work their stuff out. You know what I mean? Get right, get their mind, their body, everything right, their social life together, whatever. My thing is, like, if you can't come to work, have a legitimate reason. You know what I mean? Like, if there's something going on, get it worked out. You know what I mean? Communicate. Get things so that the ball doesn't get stopped. Everything can keep rolling. The stuff that I don't like is when you're acting like you're at work and you're not at work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that burns me up. You know what I mean? Because like Black said in previous episodes, fair day's work, fair day's pay.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are clocked in being at work, you better be at work.
Yep. Be where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, especially if you're in a position where your job is to take care of other people at your job. And you're supposed to be there doing that and you're not.
And, I guess their job is to quote unquote enforce the rules in the contract. And when you're breaking the rules in the contract, where do you go from there as a part of the union?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's bigger, like you said, the code of anything. Nobody's bigger than the law, basically. Nobody's bigger than the law. Like, you're not bigger than the law, nobody else is. You have to abide by the same rules that everybody else does. Just because you got a title.
Apparently, just like at any job, you have those people that think that they are, and think that because I got away with it a couple times, I can continue to do it. So,
Yeah, and then work just piles up, and then you just decide you don't want to do your job, but somehow you still want to get paid while you're not doing your job.
And that's the problem for me. You want that paycheck, but you don't want to do the work. Like, you're at work, you're clocked in. Just do the job. How hard is that? You're already here. What else are you going to do?
Just put in effort. That's all you do. Put effort.
Yeah,
Dude, effort.
that's the main thing the post office asks out of everybody. Just effort. They know you ain't gonna be perfect. They know you're a person. People make mistakes. Just effort. And effort is showing up sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not even gonna show up, then you don't need to be on the clock.
Exactly. Because that's how I feel. Because if I come to work and I clock in, that means I showed up. I'm not just going to sit at my case and not do my route. I'm here. I might as well catch my route, pull it down, go to the street, do my route. How hard is that?
Because when you filled out for the job, which is kind of like a contract, you're telling the job, hey, look, you guys pay me, I'm going to do this to get paid. If I'm not doing this, I'm not getting paid.
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
But I believe that falls under the line of a lot of people wanting to always have easy days. Not every day is going to be an easy day. You're going to have some hard days. No matter what position or what craft you are, you're going to have some hard ones. They're not all going to be easy.
Man, some of y'all done had easy decades and centuries. It's time to put some work in.
They're gonna say easy like Sunday morning.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Speaking of easy days and stuff like that, how's y'all weeks been? How's y'all week have been this week so far?
I said the gentleman just came.
Well, I mean, for one thing, in the Philadelphia area, we have like an issue with keeping our management in the same place. I don't know, like you guys out there, you know, in the post office world, you know what I mean? Like wherever you are, you can comment below. If you like this episode, hit the like button. And the people that's been watching us and we're listening to us and hasn't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. But I would like to know, is it musical chairs with management in your area too? Because in Philly, it's musical chairs. I'm talking like somebody can have a bid at a level 20 station and they're at a level 22 station working for like months at a time. And they're not actually at their bid. Or you got a supervisor running the station when it should be the manager running the station, but the manager's over here somewhere doing this. And then the bid of that person that they're sitting in is over here doing this. And it's just like, it's confusing. It's almost not like not trying to be funny. It's almost not worth your time to even remember these people's names. Because what happens to when you went to a station, you had a manager, that's their bid, and they're there till they're retired. So they're there for 10 plus whatever, 20 plus whatever years. They got rapport with everybody that's in there. They meeting the new people, let them know this how the station run. This route does this does that. You can go here if you want to get something to eat. Blah, because they know they got the area mapped out because they've been there for so long because they're the manager of that station. In Philly, we don't really have that because we just keep, every time you look around, every couple months, there's a new person coming in or somebody coming back around that was there before. And it's like, yo, where is your bid?
They're always acting.
Yeah, everybody. It's like you would think the way Hollywood keep recycling actors. Like we got a lot of actors in the post office.
Reverse.
A lot of actors in the post office. A lot of people just doing acting this and acting that. Like one of these people will get they cut 50 so they can just do that job and just sit in that spot.
It's almost like they throw acting in front of their title to make it like their CCA/utility/management.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that because they throw you where they want to throw you, and it can end up being at multiple stations. It don't matter where. It's just go here.
So that's really what we're dealing with at our station is like, once again, we got another manager coming and it's like, all right, this is like the 5th person in the past like 2 years. You know what I mean? It's been 7 probably total in the past 5 years. Like how are you supposed to have a nice linear work schedule, a nice linear way of doing things when there's always somebody new coming in and trying to shake it up? This is why people don't come to work. This is why people are being combative. The morale is going to the floor. You know what I mean? Like, but
what did I do with my week? How can I say this? Being put on routes I do not want to be put on.
Oh yeah.
Coming a day, I get scheduled for a day, and then I get moved. Then I get confrontation by it. Then when I address the issue, I get confrontation. I'm like, well, if you guys follow the rules and regulations of the guidelines instead of doing favors, it wouldn't be that way. So, I mean, now it's clarified up now, but I'm like, still kind of showing favors to the person that's on the routes. It's like, okay, all right. And they look at me like, oh, well, we'll clean it up. And I'm like, well, that's not the time being. I shouldn't be doing that. But also, my thing is, I told y'all before freeze, I'm like, I want to get a route basically. I had to get a route so I can stop dealing with this issue.
Like for utility.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a never-ending cycle. And it's like, what do I do? No matter if I confront issue of management, then like now if I confront the union about it, it's not going to get anything done. So I must just take things in my hands and say, all right, well, when a route opens, something I don't like or that it being, I'll just handle it as my route. So now I know I come in, I do my route. I don't worry about you saying, well, go here. No, I'll do my route and do what it is.
That's why I never wanted to be a utility. Yeah.
It's just backfiring now. I mean, like I said, it's just tedious dealing with the same problems over and over again. Like you said, like the morale is like, well, after a while you feel like, well, enough's enough. Like it's like, what do you like? When are you guys on the bend for me? Like, I'm not saying you don't, but it's just like you keep doing it for certain other people, and it's like, all right, I do the job here, so it's just you wouldn't do this for the other utility, or you do certain things. It's like, well, what is it directly with me? So that's the issue I deal with, and the issue I deal with also on the route is people are like, oh, hey, what's up with so and so? I'm like, I'm not your regular carrier. You guys want to sit and talk to me. I don't want to keep talking all the time because the route I'm on is a harder route, and I'm off the list now, so I have to get done in a coordinated fashion. I don't have time to talk to you guys on the route the way you want to efficiently, like they get to know me. Oh, hey. One guy was like, oh man, I used to have this route in 1975. Dude, we go this every day. I'm on this route. I know that. I know that. I used to have this route. Like, let me get through this. Like, when I had the route, hell and stuff. I know. He asked me like last week. Was like, yeah, you know, it was 11 route. He like, well, I didn't have all this stuff. I just had Manny. I'm like, dude, I got more stuff now. He's like, oh, all right, well, it's just crazy. I'm like, all right, guy, like, let me just get through this route. Like, it's not what I need right now. So that's just the more though, like, just the kind of a stupid question. Not say stupid, just the unwanted questions keep asking. It's like, all right, it's tedious. Like I said, it's the same thing over again. I'm like, look, I'm gonna say, look here, player. I don't need this question right now. You will help me carry this route? So it's just like that.
Well, that's, to me, a lot of that downside of being utility, because the confrontations, I had a lot of that when I was utility. And, you know, some of the rules of being a utility, some of them management don't know, or some of them they do and they just don't care. But they try to do, or they want to do what's in best interest, quote unquote, of the people in there that have higher seniority. So if it's a route to be broken up, that it's a bad route and people with higher seniority don't like it, they try to throw that utility over there, even if it's not their day to do it. Because I think the situation with you was technically your key was full.
Right.
And, you know, when you're a utility and you come in and your key's full, you can go to an open route or even bump a CCA. So his key was technically full, but I think the regular didn't come in and he ended up going to be with the safety team.
Yeah.
So they ended up throwing him on that route. So, which his day to do it was the day before. So technically, because the key was full, he could have went to any route in the station. But, you know, like you said, he was met with confrontation and given the order to go to that route, which I don't like, because the direct order, please. Like, that makes people say, hell no.
This ain't the Army.
It literally does. Like, it's almost like a slap in the face. Like you're abusing your power. But that, like I said, that's why I don't want to be utility anymore, because you're not going to do that to me when I know what the rules are. But because you say you're giving me a direct order, I have to follow my last line of orders. It's not right. It's not right. So, you know, if you're going to jump on that route, I would do it. But, you know, if you don't want to, you know, it's up to you. But being a utility is not fun, because it almost never works out in your favor unless management, you know, sees you as part of their quote unquote clique. So,
what about you, Aaron?
It's pretty interesting, because I just jumped on a route from my utility. Route opened up that was on my utility, and I jumped on there. It's a moderate route, you know, it's pretty steppy, but it's not bad overall. Like, I like it, I enjoy it. What I enjoy the most is having my own truck. Like, I hated like coming in and trying to figure out the truck situation with the keys and stuff like that. So, you know, I had my own truck. You know, I keep it clean, take care of it, keep like stuff on there, like regular, like get the oil change, get stuff fixed on there, like, so. Yeah, I like it. So,
you got comfortability. You got familiar habitat.
Yeah, a little routine.
It's a little easier knowing what you're doing when you come in.
Yeah, you build a rapport with the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You say the best.
they got your back.
You say the best.
Well, nah, we already.
You old Rick.
I mean, no, my route is my route. You know, people haven't seen me like in, you know, I guess like a month because I was on like, you know, a vacation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny running into people as you're doing them. Oh, yeah, you're back, man. Da-da-da-da. They love to tell you how like everything was messed up, like while you were going or whatever. You know what I mean? And then like, and how things aren't really like the way they're supposed to be.
Nah, you ain't gonna butter this up. This dude got more love than money making this. I'm like, hey, man, we ain't seen you in a while. What's up, baby? Like, where you been at? Man, come on, man, don't do that again. Look, we need you. Look, we heard him. I'm like, oh my God, like this. What did you say?
You acting like I'm Frank Lucas handing out turkeys to everybody in my route.
Am I right or wrong? What, he get more love in the streets than anybody.
100%
Like, hey,
right.
Rick, man.
100% right.
Hey, Rick, what's up, man? How was the vacation, man? It was good. All right. You looking good. All right, look.
I don't know what he's talking about, people. I just do my mail, you know what I mean? Drop off the packages, go about my business, man. I don't,
Okay.
you know. Hey, yeah, they appreciate that I work hard and I'm always on time and, you know, and everything is in order when I'm doing the job. Yes.
Man, you get love. You get love like you're a ball player. When you want ball player jokes, huh?
Yeah.
Ball
playing jokers.
You gonna hang my jersey at the bathroom? I'm done. They gonna hang a statue up to my 21. Nobody like it.
Yeah, 21, never been done better.
I'm sorry, Brandon. You're going to get on 41. That's the joint that's going
No,
to
I ain't.
Wow.
41's
Wow.
not open, sir. That's not open, sir. if you do 21 from 21, if you do 21 from 10, maybe that might be open, but I ain't gonna talk about that later.
But yo, the moral of the story is, man, like when you work for the post office, yo, you gotta stay on point, man. Integrity is everything, man. Like the stealing, that's you never get away with it. Yeah, sure, you might get away with it for a little while, but what usually happens is because people are getting away with stuff, they just keep going. They don't know how to stop, and eventually you gonna get popped.
Yep.
Then you gonna be looking stupid. Then your family's embarrassed.
Burst your bubble.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to say, hey, that's my brother that that was stealing the checks from the post office, and now he's doing 3 years in jail. You know what I mean? Or hey, that's my son. Or hey, that's my dad. Wow. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to have to explain that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like just be on point. The job pays you good enough. You know what I mean? If you need more than that, then you got to start finding other ways to get something going.
That's what it said in the article. They was like, yeah, like it's really no excuse for it except for just being greedy.
Yep. Because we get OT. We get mandatory OT. The money's pretty good. You can be stable off this job.
But no, they don't know if they get
Yeah, and if you're in management, you having money problems, you can still move up. There's a lot of mobility in management in the post office. You just got to take the classes and do the actual work to get certified to be at the next levels.
And,
You said it's laziness though. You said it's laziness though. Like the thing is, if I can do what I do and make more money and stay where I'm at, it's being lazy.
Yeah.
Cut corners.
and I don't understand how he got only 3 years and he had to pay $88,000. It's like it seemed like as soon as he just cried in court, he was like, "Okay, don't worry about it," Like, come on, yo, like what? He stole $1.7 million from hospitals, cancer research facilities. Like, what the?
He must have had the snot cry in court. You know that kind where you shaking and it's running down your face.
Talk about
He had an anime cry.
What do you want?
And his wife probably was crying, his kids probably was crying, and the judge probably was just a softie. You know what I mean?
Don't do this to my father.
I listen, I know some judges, like, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have looked at this case and said, "Oh, for real? That's what you did? You
25.
do that much?"
But
Yep.
he said he had to pay the 88 grand in restitution.
Yeah. It don't say in the article like, or he had to pay back the 1.7 million
Yeah.
and then get 3 years. It just said he paid 88,000.
And got 3 years.
It's like, so do you keep that money, like, and then you get out 3 years and still had the money you stole? Like, how does that work?
9 times out of 10, he probably didn't keep the money. He probably was blowing it.
I hope not.
That's probably how he got caught. Because he probably was doing some lavish things that kind of brought attention to himself. You know what I mean?
But even still, if the money is in your account, basically, like, you still have to take accommodation of how do you have all this money in your bank account and where is it exactly coming from?
Well, if it's not in his bank account and he was actually spending it, everything
He's
that
cashing
he
them
owned, he
joints.
probably seized. Like if he had a house, took it, car, took it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then what was left over was the
88,000.
88,000 balance. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense.
Moral of the story, man, just if you're in the post office, man, just do what you're supposed to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a job to do your job, man. You know what I mean? Don't be clocking in and be hanging at the crib when you're supposed to be at work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got alcoholism problem like that, get it straightened out. Let the people that work with you know, hey, I'm dealing with something. I need y'all to step up. You know what I mean? Because we got to get this such situation taken care of, but I'm a little out of it right now. You know what I mean? Communicate. Like pride is not something that you should have when it comes to making sure the job is done the proper way. Granted, you should take pride in your work, but you also should put your pride to the side when you know you're not effective, when you know you need help, when you know things aren't really running the way they're supposed to run for you. You know what I mean? Because there's too many other people counting on you, especially when you have a position of authority or a position where you're responsible for other people's livelihood. Like, that type of stuff will get you hurt. You know what I mean? Like we just said, like earlier, like, we don't know what the situation was with the truck driver dude cutting the person head, but I know for sure, like, you working in a union position or something like that, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and somebody catches an L because of it, they might decide to hurt you.
Yep.
Yeah, pull up on you.
Yeah, somebody doing that, like, I can only think, like, you playing with somebody's money, like,
Yeah.
going trying to cut somebody, like.
Another thing, I never, post office has EAP for all these, stress and mental issues and all that, or whatever you got going on at work and or home. I never actually had to call EAP. I'm pretty sure none of y'all have either. If anybody out there has actually used that service, let us know in the comments how that went. How the process works talking to EAP, because probably a lot of stuff probably could have been avoided, either discussing with them or, possibly somebody.
Yeah, that's everything from the altercation to the DUI situation. I mean, the guy that was stealing, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you had money problems, you could have called EAP for that, and they probably could have gave you some advice, maybe. But, on the route podcast, man, we try to stay in tune with the streets, the post office, you know what I mean? The streets of the post office, you know what I mean? I guess that's what this is. This is one of those post office street episodes. You know what I mean? Like, stuff was happening out here. But we appreciate you guys always checking in with us, rocking with us, man. We've been doing this thing, almost 5 months now?
5.5 months now.
Yeah, we rolling, man. We rolling. We about to start setting up this video things pretty soon. We're gonna surprise y'all with it. We ain't gonna tell you when it's gonna happen. Y'all just gonna see it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they finally did it. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're probably gonna be joking about our clothes and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
They were like, oh, that's him? He sounds like they're gonna pick a voice though.
Yeah, they're gonna chop with the voices with the faces. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I show up in t-shirt and slides, man. Shorts, t-shirt, slides.
Yeah, I try to get my drip on, but whatever.
Don't forget the drip. It's a day off.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. We always wearing Postal clothes, so the other clothes will never get worn. So I try to put them on for this,
Put it on for the podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But appreciate you guys.
Man, you better not come in here with a Rockefeller chain. I swear to God. I swear to God.
OVO.
Come on, stop it.
What's wrong with an OVO chain? But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Let our brothers have the last words before we get up out of here.
Oh man, it's be more, man. This is something I like doing, man. This is a good thing right here. 3 good brothers, we do this all together. Like, I couldn't picture myself doing this with nobody else. This is what we do right here.
This is Black, giving y'all information. I know this pod was a lot of drama, but, it's a whole lot more going on in the post office. This is just a couple of things, just to give y'all information that there's other stuff going on in other places other than just where you are in the post office. So, like, comment, subscribe, let us know. Hit us up. This is Black.
All right, y'all. This is Aaron. We holla at y'all later. Peace.
And this is your engineer. Not low key at all. Let you guys know, appreciate you guys for checking in with us. Like I always say, man, be safe out there. And if you a carrier, just be safe on the route. And it's always safe on the route.